start with the harsh reality of the wild. Speed, agility, instinct. The animals that are quick enough to catch their food get to live another day. The slower ones do not. Animals passing down their most successful physical traits over millions of generations is a brilliant, ruthless system for solving complex survival problems. Computer scientists borrow this exact biological blueprint to solve massive mathematical puzzles. They call it a genetic algorithm. The process begins with initialization. The computer generates thousands of completely random, mostly terrible, starting guesses. We call this the initial population. Next comes the fitness function. Think of this as the digital environment grading a test. It aggressively sorts the absolute worst ideas from the ones that are slightly less terrible, pushing the most viable shapes to the top. We never teach the computer the correct answer. We simply create an environment that automatically rewards the most useful traits over time. Now the algorithm has to decide which of those surviving guesses get to breed the next generation. This is the selection phase. This is a pie chart showing a method called roulette wheel selection. The solution with the highest fitness gets the largest slice of probability. But look closely. Even the weaker solutions get a tiny sliver. They still have a chance to be chosen. This diagram shows an alternative called tournament selection. The computer pulls a random group of individuals from the crowd and makes them compete head-to-head, picking the winner as a parent. These strategies guarantee the strongest genes move forward, but keeping a few underdogs around ensures the population has enough genetic diversity to survive long-term. Balancing that diversity is the hardest part of the process. The algorithm is caught between two competing forces: exploitation, which means refining an area we already know has good answers, and exploration, which means searching broadly for completely new areas. This graph shows how a successful algorithm handles that tension. It starts by prioritizing wide exploration, but as time passes, the blue line drops, and the algorithm shifts toward high exploitation. Without this exact balance, an algorithm will get permanently trapped staring at a decent solution, while the perfect answer hides in a corner of the map it never bothered to check. Once parents are selected, they physically mix their digital DNA to create offspring. This process is called crossover. For a simple true or false puzzle, the algorithm can just line up two strings of binary code, slice them cleanly down the middle, and swap their back halves. You immediately get two new, valid pieces of code. But optimizing the delivery route, visiting 5 cities exactly once, breaks that simple cut-and-paste method. Swapping the back halves of 2 road trips might tell a driver to visit Chicago twice, while entirely skipping New York. It creates an impossible trip. To fix this, we use a specialized technique called permutation crossover. It carefully swaps chunks of the route between parents while strictly enforcing the rule that no city can be duplicated. The way digital parents share their genes has to perfectly respect the physical rules of the real-world problem they are trying to solve. Sometimes, nature throws a completely unexpected curveball. To mimic this, the algorithm intentionally introduces small random errors into the offspring's code. It might randomly flip a single 0 into a 1, or swap the order of 2 cities on a route. This is mutation. This injected randomness forces the population to try weird new combinations. It prevents them from becoming genetically stagnant and trapped. As the new offspring arrive, someone has to leave. In the replacement phase, the algorithm decides who stays and who gets deleted. Sometimes it wipes out the entire old guard at once. Other times it uses a steady-state approach, only kicking out the absolute worst performers one by one. Digital environments have limited space. By enforcing strict survival rules, the overall fitness of the population is driven upward with every cycle: selection, crossover, mutation, replacement. This loop repeats thousands of times, generation after generation. Watch what happens to a chaotic delivery route as it runs through this process. Cycle by cycle, the bad paths die off. The good segments combine. It untangles itself into a perfectly smooth path. We are watching millions of years of adaptation compressed into milliseconds. The most advanced computational problem-solving relies on the simplest logic. It is nature's deepest, most patient set of rules, disguised as code.